big deal with it because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now close.
Welcome to the world famous studio tour. You made it. You made it. It's about a 5-minute wait, but the tour does last about an hour. Everyone's entrance will be straight back underneath the studio to your side and over to your left.
We have the 3D glasses, you can pick any open ones.
You want to ride it once?
If you see this sign, I'll try to give you a heads up. Feel free to chat quietly amongst yourselves, but otherwise keep those voices to an indoor level for us today. Yeah, that's going to be for a few shows. I hope you see some stuff and some good times. So for now, sit back, relax, eat some snacks. It's almost showtime. On screen, you can see some footage from our opening day back in 1964. Some helicopter footage of the lot.
They said that if you like Back to the Future or like it right now.
Feature loud noises, sudden trim movements, fire effects, and water effects. Lastly, you don't have to wear your 3D glasses yet. I'll tell you when to put them on later on in the show. All right, you've met me, Emily. You've met Lucas, your driver. Now time to meet your master of ceremonies, Jimmy Fallon.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Welcome aboard the world famous studio tour. I know you're thinking, why the tux? Well, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. That's right, 60 years of glitz, glamour, and our own great white shark. As we celebrate our diamond anniversary today, we'll pay tribute to Universal's past and take you behind the scenes to discover why this studio tour is world famous. So whether this is your first visit or your 60th, get ready for fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
Thanks, Jimmy. With that, we're going to take you all back in time to where it all began. On March 15, 1915, our founder, Carl Lemley, invited the public into the studio to watch silent films being made. Guests could walk from set to set and marvel at the new technology involved in filmmaking. But With the invention of sound and need for quiet on the set, the original walking tour ended. But the 1960s, under the leadership of company chairman Lou Wasserman and executives Al Dorskin and Jay Stein, the idea of reviving a tour returned when the Gray Line bus tours originating in Hollywood made a stop at our gates. Then, on July 15, 1964, the first of our red and white candy-striped glamour trams took 67 passengers on a 2-hour driving tour of the studio. With that, the world-famous studio tour was born. We started with 2 drivers, 2 guides, and 1 ticket seller working out of a booth on Lankershim Boulevard. From there, the studio was expanded to quickly find Hollywood elements like the Party House event and the rock slide, which are in this area of the lot of the 1970s and 80s. And I guess you could say the studio tour was the first ride that came to Universal Studios as a theme park franchise. And today, we're going to take you back to where we make movies and TV shows. First part of our tour, we're going to check out what we call the front lot. And as we head down the hill, you're about to start seeing these large black and white buildings everywhere that we call sound stages. Coming up on your left, you're going to see the first of our sound stages, the historic Stage 12, which has been home to some pretty cool movies throughout our history. On screen, I'll show you some examples of those movies. Classic films like Dracula and Frankenstein in the 1930s, even modern-day favorites like Back to the Future and Jurassic Park, and even Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. With quite a variety of different films. But before our production team moves in, our sound stages are really just these blank, empty warehouses like you see on screen. But it all transforms once our incredible team of craftsmen and lighting team, they just really change it up for your production. Looks like the soundstage door is open on the left if you want to take a little peek inside. Looks like we got a lot of costumes lined up in there. And one of the shows that utilizes these stages is the series Bel-Air, starring Jerome Banks as Will and Ollie Showalton as his cousin Carlton in a modern retelling of the 90s sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Season 3 of the show just dropped on Peacock this week, and I have a little video from the stars to show you how they can work on the lot. Take it away, boys.
Park behind and entering the front lot where real Hollywood magic is made. How? Well, inside the sound stages that surrounds us, we can create any kind of environment for script makers.
For the past 60 years, studio tour visitors have driven right by these buildings, and inside these walls, the sets from your favorite TV shows and movies have transported audiences anywhere the imagination can take you. Even to a palatial mansion in Bel-Air.
When we film Bel-Air, we love coming out of the sound stages and seeing the trams filled with excited guests as they drive by.
So, keep an eye out.
You never know who.
Or what?
You'll see you in the studio tour.
Thanks, gentlemen. Be sure to check out Bel-Air exclusively on Peacock, especially if you're a fan of the original comedy, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They share a stage with Soundstage 14, which you see on the left-hand side, which has been home to other big movies, including Jurassic Park. This is where they did the scene where the kids were feeding the dinosaurs, then Lex gets sneezed on by it. But also, the movie Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks. The famous line where he says, "Houston, we have a problem. This was Houston." I had a little video from director Ron Howard. The stage used to be stage 21 when they made this movie, though.
Was an essential element for Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed on television. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo missions still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have film making in mind when they built Mission Control, since there was no room for the elaborate camera planes and tracks we needed for the shots. We needed to build our own mission control.
I'm going to pause the screen right here just so you get a good look at what they built on our soundstage. It's actually all temporary materials, and they take it down to the end of filming and they go for the next production. Last year we had a really high-profile movie on these stages, and that was the Academy Award winner for Best Motion Picture, Oppenheimer, starring Cillian Murphy. It's some of the scenes on Stage 19, which we're about to pass by on our right. But the newest resident of Stage 19 is a fuzzy but sometimes foul-mouthed teddy bear named Ted. You can see him on the left-hand side. I recognize him from the Ted and Ted 2 film, to his voice, but very funny Seth MacFarlane, who's actually back as the voice of Ted in this new TV show. Seth MacFarlane is also one of the producers on this series. And behind Ted on the left, these little brown buildings are also home to other producers and production companies, including Mark Platt Productions. They're currently working on the movie adaptation of Wicked, starring Ariana Grande, Tony Award winner Cynthia Erivo, as well as Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh. Quite the cast. I'll be coming to theaters this November. Got one more office to point out, though. Number 5195 has a little silhouette on the side of it, former offices of the horror director Alfred Hitchcock.
You said that you move into that office. I said, no, I can never be in Hitchcock's office. Try. How can you see it? Very excited. Just to know that he was there and walk by and know he was in that office. Hitchcock was in there. I saw Hitchcock walking around the commissary. Hitchcock had his bungalow on the lot. I used to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
He directed incredible films like Vertigo, The Birds, Psycho, and more. And now we're just out here on the left, so hopefully they'll still be out. You never know what will happen. But the rest of the show films in our backlot, which we're transferring into right now. So in just a moment on your right, you're going to see an entire city come into view here, which we use as any city that you need. Big town, small town, we can do it right here. All right, peek over. Any cast members? Oh, yeah, a little bit of activity going on the left-hand side. Doctors and patients of St. Denis Medical right there. Actors, yay. And then over on the right, here is the hospital set I was talking about. This is fresh. They just built this in the last couple months to make progress for the show. This courtyard is also shared by those little steps that you see across the way. On screen, you can see them alongside stars like Elvis Presley. Also had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ben Stiller here in the 90s as well, utilizing these little apartment buildings, essentially. For now, we're going to take you to a different part of town that we call Hill Valley, California, as seen in Back to the Future. There's our hero, Marty McFly, looking up at the town's famous clock tower. If you want to look at it, it's over here on the left. And now it looks like a high school, but that's because they can put a facade on the front. As soon as they take that front part off, I promise you, they'll reveal the famous columns, just like you see in the original film.
Welcome to the Courthouse Square.
Jisoo of the K-pop group Blackpink, and also Lady Gaga's Edge of Glory music video a few years ago. But you can also catch this currently in the TED TV series on Peacock.
Hi everyone, Seth MacFarlane here, and I'm excited to share with you a behind-the-scenes look at our Peacock original event series, TED. It's a prequel series set in 1993. And that means our skilled craftspeople had to build a high school, a house, and even recreate downtown Boston as it looked back in the day, using exterior sets and facades that you're about to see on the tour. But I should warn you, TED is intended for mature audiences only. So grown-ups, tell the kids to go in the other room before you watch.
All episodes of TED now streaming on Peacock. But now time for us to leave the city behind us and instead head deep into the jungle. Here's director Peter Jackson to tell you about his epic film, King Kong.
It's the original King Kong that made me I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you over the edge. Kong original does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to the Lost Island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled with Universal inviting me back to Star Island, and it's great to have you along the line. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so we're going to have to give you glasses with them. Don't put them on yet, just put them in your hand because we're about to enter Star Island. We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality as well. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles.
So we're about to meet King Kong ourselves on Skull Island. But let's prepare. First, security loose items you brought with you. Hats, water bottles, sunglasses, cell phones, because it's about to get very bumpy in here. If you're taking any photos or videos, turn off all flash photography, remain seated at all times, and have those 3D glasses ready, because we're going to Skull Island. fast, huh? That adventure was brought to us by director Peter Jackson and the team at Weta Effects. Weta is a digital effects company has worked on many films, including the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Last year, they took home their 7th Academy Award for Avatar: The Way of Water. They won for Best Visual Effects. Under a pneumatic system, which allows us to move along with the action on screen seamlessly.
This train driving along through Skull Island is where the canvas from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
And although the original King Kong film that inspired Peter Jackson's career wasn't even a Universal production, it was actually part of RKO back when it was made in the 1930s, but it still would inspire a Universal monster in the form of modern-day King Kong. We're actually about to show you a mural made up of our classic monsters coming up on our right-hand side with spray paint artist Tristan Eaton.
An instrumental part of the process and designing the drone and going through the Universal archive. Going there, I got to see person across movies, photos of scenes, visual illustrations, photos, movie posters, all this stuff.
It's pretty cool that he got his career started illegally painting billboards and buildings, but eventually was discovered, and now his beautiful works of art are presented and commissioned. Pretty cool he got his big break. Very much like the people competing on The Voice, the music competition, which actually goes across the way on the left-hand side. Actually seeing a lot of activity on The Voice today with the audience coming in and out of the sound stages, but if you're not familiar with the show, it's where unknown singers have an opportunity to be coached by an industry professional. These hero coaches include Michael Bublé, Reba McEntire, Gwen Stefani, even Snoop Dogg back in his time at the Paris Olympics as one of our NBC correspondents. But long before we had The Voice here, there's this little pond that you see on the left-hand side through the bushes. It's not just any old pond, it's actually the Hollywood Ocean. As long as you use miniature ships, this can be any large body of water you need. Once even served as the home to the creature from the Black Lagoon. Creature there played by Riku Browning. And it's just part of our incredible legacy of both horror and monster movies that were made here at Universal. And we're about to check out an area of the lot that we call Little Europe, which was home to many of our classic monster films.
I think Universal would think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, right?
The Mummy.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame,
The Invisible Man,
Phantom of the Opera, classic. Linear. That's it's one of the great icons of the world. Not familiar with all the essence of the universe so far.
What made these films so special back then was when you saw a movie, it was a brand new piece of technology. You'd probably never seen such a thing before. Our movies showed you special effects makeup and moving pictures, also faraway lands that you wouldn't get to visit in your everyday life, including Paris and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That movie was made over 100 years ago, so it really gives you a sense of just how long these set pieces have been here. More recent projects include Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean and Curse of the Black Pearl. This was the island of Tortuga where they rounded up their pirate crew. Also little bits and pieces of Port Royal at the beginning. Also home to some happy villagers who are so excited that a prince is giving a ball in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella with Brandy, Whitney Houston, and the first Filipino prince, Pablo Montalban. Yeah. But you might be getting a weird feeling right now, like you're being visited by some restless spirits, because we're also traveling through the afterlife, or should I call it the good place?
Showstone.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Well, it was awesome. I highly recommend checking out all 4 seasons of that really fun NBC comedy, because you don't have to shut down a real city like New York or Chicago or San Francisco, where people are actually, using that to commute every single day. Here, we can roll in a train on these tracks if we need to make it work out for our production. And the best part, though, is that we can actually do special effects on a soundstage because this is a perfect controlled environment for such a thing. Don't wait for Mother Nature. Don't worry, that's totally supposed to happen because we're going to show you how Hollywood does an earthquake. That came flying over the edge rather than like any of the other stuff going on. So good job, my actors. And before we had CGI, computer generated imagery, it really was just the practical that we were using. Still use it today very much in films, often combined with CGI, but back in the 1970s, there was a young director who wanted to utilize practical effects to the next level by using the open ocean as a set. And that director was named Steven Spielberg, and the movie was Jaws. So welcome to Amity Island, quaint little New England town that was unfortunately ravaged by a set of infamous shark attacks in summer 1975. But that was like 49 years ago. Obviously the problem can't still persist, even though I do notice that the beach is closed. I mean, just, I don't know, abundance of caution, but we should be just fine as we travel through here. Oh, they spoke too soon. Everybody keep your arms and legs inside the gates at all times and remain seated. We do not want to become shark bait. He's headed right for us. Oh no! Like, oh, Jack. Jack, what are you doing, Jack? You gotta get out of the water. You gotta get on the boat, buddy. Get on the boat. No! This is terrible. Oh. The red stuff can't be good. Can it? I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. There goes my heart of the ocean. Oh man. You know what, folks? We're gonna need a bigger tram. For many of you on board here, you seem completely unfazed of the real fire, but terrified of a plastic shark, huh? Fascinating. But don't worry, we got one thing that's definitely going to scare you. You know what it is? That giant wall of water that you were afraid of, an earthquake. But now we're going to show you how we used to do it all the way back from 1968. Here is today's show's Al Roker to talk about the flash flood.
My favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio floor way back in 1968. Welcome to the only part of the Backlot with a 100% chance of rain. The Flash.
So welcome to Old Mexico, where we're going to bring you a little storm today. For our special effects team, they know you've seen rain before and that you guys are here for the main event. So take cover and cue the flash flood. Ooh, very nice. And on screen today, you sit the film Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti and Amanda Bynes and Frankie Muniz. Need to make a Western. It was perfect. And then we could build the little cities here on our backlot. And this was a genre of film that essentially everybody could watch. It was something you could take the whole family out to see. It was a little violent at times with all the gunslinging and the bar brawls, you know, but overall, nothing terrible was in there compared to more intense movies. But by the 1970s, that is when audiences finally wanted a bigger selection of movies that were bigger, better, and dare I say even bitier. And that really kicked off in 1975 with Jaws. Because of the success of that film, Steven Spielberg decided he wanted to recreate that movie experience for the audience here on the studio tour in the form of the Jaws ride.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of the ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the trams. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on Universal Lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1970.
Spielberg likes to refer to Universal as his first home, as we are the studio that produced Jaws, but he really got his start here on the lot as a teenager, taking the tour just like you guys are doing right now.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams. There were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio bus. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
What an incredible story for the man who would go on to become one of Hollywood's most prolific directors. And appropriately, we're even driving along Steven Spielberg Drive, an entire street that we ended up naming after the very successful career he's had. Now it's also time for me to tell you that we're about 15 minutes before returning back to the park. But if you can't wait to use the restroom or have any other needs, you know what to do. Reach up, grab that red cord, and we'll come help you out as soon as I can. Otherwise, about 15 minutes till we are back up. We're going to be turning back on the road in just a second, where we have something that we call picture cars waiting for you. These are all vehicles that you see in movies and TV shows, including one of our very own original 1964 Glamour trams, which is featured in the movie the Nude Bomb after the Maxwell Smart Get Smart TV series. Also got some other recognizable vehicles, including John Hammond's Jeep, number 29 from Jurassic Park, and even some of the Fast and Furious cars, which you can see on screen as well. You know, the Fast and Furious movies are all about family, you know, so how wonderful that they're parked behind the little family-owned establishment. I gotta warn you, something bad happened here once. A lady checked in and was never seen again. Anybody ever hear the Bates Motel? So not a real Universal mystery, but a plot point from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. So the original neon sign for the film still standing, and we're about to head up the hill to show you one of Hollywood's most iconic sets, the home of Norman Bates. And this film truly shocked audiences in 1960, particularly with the reveal of Norman's mother, who's still up the stairs in the second floor window of this house. She's been up there since 1960. Tour's only been here since 1964, so yikes, if you ask me. Get a good look. Creepy, creepy. Dropped a real 747 airplane on top of it. This is a real plane, folks. Look around, see how much of it you can find, and on screen, see how they used it in the film alongside Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning.
The airplane is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision of people.
You just sit down and talk about but God, what if the 747 came right in a big universe? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now close. Baby, get in. Get in.
It's quite the sight, isn't it? But now we're going to take you away from this East Coast sci-fi film and instead take you into a different movie that took place right here in Southern California. We're to check out the real sets used in Jordan Peele's latest sci-fi thriller with a bit of a Western twist called Nope. These sets were brought down at the end of filming to become a permanent part of our studio tour experience.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter Planet, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupiter. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, Golden Rush frontier town lies a siege for secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. What's a bad miracle? Welcome to the world of no.
And now,
My name is Special Agent Lee Cobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service, and as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
whoa, okay, I'm going to cut those guys off before they start fighting on my train. We're in good hands. We're just going to lay low for a second in this garage here. Once again, remain seated, hang on to your items, and turn off flash photography. Here. I'm going to form a friend. We definitely need some reinforcement, so everybody, please direct your attention to the screen and listen to Robert Pierce.
Pierce. Nice to meet you. Buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you with Shaw. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you. To keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here.
Where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Him?
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got you. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
This thing can only go more than like 9 miles an hour. How's that supposed to work? Uh-oh. Oh, wait, the crew is setting instructions. It says, have everyone put on their 3D glasses. I'll make good disguises for this situation. Then proceed to the parking garage and wait for Dominic Toretto. He will escort you back to the park. All right, easy enough. Glasses on, remain seated, wait for Dominic. You got this.